Okay, so I'm in a basement today with quite a bit going on in it. So I wanted to go through some of the basic plumbing things you'll see in your house potentially, so I can hopefully clarify what exactly some of the stuff is. One of the interesting things in this house is the actual water lines itself. This is an older house, so there's a lot of copper. So you'll see copper piping, but you'll see this in this particular case. They have some what is called PEX piping, which is a new polyethylene, it's like a plastic pipe, which is very standard in today's new construction. This is really good in a freeze-thaw situation. It does not crack like the copper would. You do not need copper. You need heat and flux and solder to make joints. You don't need that. This is mechanical. The connection's much easier to connect. So you'll see this a lot more if you have a newer home. Blue is usually for cold water. Red is for hot. I've seen white. I've seen clear pipe, but it's a great new pipe that they've come out with. You'll see a lot of valves in your ceiling potentially. This house has a ton of them, and these are isolation valves. These valves allow the homeowner to shut down certain sections of pipe so that areas could be worked on while water is still going to other parts of the house. There's some drain pipes. This would be, I think, if they ever decided they wanted to actually leave for the winter and drain all the water out of the pipes, you have some drains here. This is an outdoor spigot, and this is the line leading that way. But because we freeze, they have, and it's not the spigot and the line actually runs outside. They need to get the water out of this in the wintertime. So you can shut this off, which it is. It's perpendicular. If the handle was parallel, it would be on. And there's a bleed screw right here. You can shut it off, unscrew that bleed screw, and it'll actually drain the water out of the pipe. So there's no water in there to freeze during the winter. So you guys, if you're looking in your ceilings and see all this stuff, that's what those are for. This big pipe here is the waste pipe. Now in this house it's PVC. Older homes it could be cast iron, could be galvanized. This is a newer, this is a 30-year-old home, but it's new enough to have PVC. This is a septic tank house, so that pipe runs out through the garage, through the basement, through the wall, right there, into the ground, out to the septic tank. On this side, there's a clean out. So there's a waste clean out. If there was ever a clog, a plumber could take that cap off, unscrew it, and snake the clog, hopefully out of that pipe. But up above, you'll see this is a nice standing basement, so we can have access. You see a lot of these are all sinks from above. These could be from the dishwasher, the toilets, any waste, liquid waste coming out of the house is going to come down through this PVC and go out into the septic tank. Okay. Over here, we've got the heating system for the house. This is a nice brand new boiler. This is a propane boiler with a reserve hot water tank. The propane actually comes outside. This is a high efficiency boiler, so it only boils on demand. This house, I believe, has 3 thermostats. So 1 zone, 2 zones, 3 zones for each thermostat, and that, I believe, goes to the tank. Yes, it does. Goes to the hot water tank. So no issues here. This is a very nice system. This is the vent, though. So the vent, a lot of your houses, the vent might go out the chimney. This is a vent where one is sucking in fresh air to the system and one is exhausting the fumes to the outside. So that's what that is. But you guys may or may not see where that happens into your chimney. But because this is a newer system, it's not that way. Okay, so that's a little bit about this house. You guys will see some variations of this in your house, but hopefully you can identify. One other thing. For those of you that have a well, there is a water shutoff. And in this house, it's this valve right here. So if you ever had an issue where the water was leaking and you needed to emergency shut it off, and you didn't have time or you weren't of a mind to go find the pump, you could literally come down, just throw this handle. It'll shut the water off. You'll still have pressure in the house, but you'll at least shut off new water from coming. In this case, there's a nice sink right here. You could shut that off, turn this on, drain the pressure off the line, at least stop the leak. So it's important to identify and know where your shutoff is to your water supply. Okay?